What's going on YouTube? DwighttJ here, bringing you guys the second episode of the Virtual Drift Report. Before we get started off into things, I would like to give a special thanks to Starlux Esports that ran and organized this round for the French guys. And for live streaming, I'd like to also give a thanks to Sinistra Esports for live streaming everything and I guess giving me the footage as well. So pretty much what took place this weekend was the Starlux Virtual Drift Challenge. The track was on Rio de Janeiro. Pretty good, smooth section from the way I looked at it. I will be showing you guys the layout here in a sec. The judges was Deck, Vodka, and Sismic. That was part of Starlux Gaming. So let's get started into the track layout. As you see, the first clicking point will be inside on the entry. Second clipping point will be an outside zone or outside clipping, transferring to another outside zone, bringing it back into an inside clip, and carrying it back out into an outside clip. So track was pretty simple and smooth. So let's get started right into things. And here's an example of a qualifying run, or the top qualifying run, which was done by DRC Jordan. He's pretty much was the top qualifier, and he went through the run smoothly. I mean, it was little bobbles, but it was smooth. And that was your top run for the weekend for qualifying. As you see, these are the rest of the qualifying results from the event. And now you're looking at the bracket, and we're going to fast forward all the way to the top 8. Starting off the top 8, we have DRC Jordan versus Ideal Greasy. Entry for the first run was it was kind of similar, but he fell off a little bit, which caused a gap. He tried to shallow to close the proximity, but it kind of caused him, and it was a big advantage towards BMW. Following run, the BMW just came in too hot and smacked Ideal, and that's pretty much how it was written in stone. Ideal Greasy did get the win for this, and also for the telemetry. While you see the telemetry, this was how the judges and the live stream was judging. So apologies for that. Second battle, we had Helix versus DSA Mr. Mayhem. Mayhem went in too hot and smacked Helix off the course, which gave him a big advantage. Helix next run pretty much played it safe, just make sure he hit all the clipping points and got through the run, and Helix would be getting this victory. There's a little overtake at the end as well. Next battle, we had Zelda Power versus Mickey Dude 36. First run, pretty good for Power there. Mickey had a big straighten up. I don't know if they scored it as a 0, but yes, he's kind of driving throughout the course and everything. And the FRS was pretty much powered on through. Next following run, Mickey followed, and he had a much better run, I would say, from the previous run. Was able to keep up with him for most of the run, as Zeta did go out a little wide, and Mickey made that up, so which gave that up one more time. First run on the one more time, weird entry from Mickey. Power pretty much didn't phase him and followed behind it, and it was a really good run. As you see, that pretty much was a 0 right there. Scored it, I think they scored it as a 0, and yeah, big advantage going to the FRS. Following run, just pretty much a gap on the start, but the R33 did make it up, but that didn't really have enough to make up for the mistakes that he did on the first run with Zelda Power, which did get the win. Last battle of the top 8, we had Unity Willox versus DSA Lost with Riddles. Entry was very good for both drifters. A little gap was pretty much getting created right there. Coming into the last part of the section, but Riddles went a little wide, and the S15 corrected because I don't think he's seen him. Following run, but Riddles hit him, and I think they scored it as a one more time. Yes, they did. But pretty sloppy runs for both drifters. and everything, and I could see why the judges did score it the way they did, so they gave that run on one more time. Coming to the first run on one more time, entry was S15 went in way too hot, caused for a huge contact, and really didn't affect the lead car, but at the end of the day the contact fault was at fault to the follow car. So getting into the second run of the OMT, we had Burritos following. Really good entry, playing it safe, keeping the proximity somewhat at a decent range, and he powered on through for the win. DSL Riddles did win and move on to the top 4. As you see here, we have the semi-final set, Ideal Grizzy versus Helix is for our first battle of the top 4, 2R34s. Entry was pretty clean for both drivers. Was a little bit of proximity on entry, and Ideal is still shallowed up from not hitting that outside zone, but for the lead car that was just a pretty good flawless run for him. Eventually went to Helix. Following run was really good for both drivers yet again. This time Helix had a much better chase, kept the proximity close, got near the outside zone much better than the follow car did on the previous run, and Ideal was almost going to go around, in which they scored Helix to win. Next battle we had Power versus Riddles. Entry was really good by both drivers, but a bit correction after the first turn for Power. Kind of shallow throughout the run for both drivers, but after the first run, the advantage I would kind of see went slightly to Burritos. Entry for the follower and run was really good for Burritos, and the FRS just drove it in too hard and crashed, which gave Burritos the win. So moving on to a third place battle, we have Ideal Grizzy versus Zeta Power. Power would follow, Grizzy would lead. Entry was good. Outside zone was really good for Power, but had a really big correction and dropped, and was kind of shallow up for the rest of the run, and Ideal Grizzy did have an advantage. Following run, good entry, big correction for the lead car. Follower car gave him some room, and that's pretty much how it was done. Ideal Grizzy did win third place, and congrats to him. Moving on to our final battle, we did have DSA Los Barretos versus Helix. Entry from Los Barretos, he was following. Big correction on entry for him, which cost him a pretty big gap, and he shallowed up for the rest of the run as well to try to catch up, but it just was not enough. Helix had a big advantage. Following run, Helix, good entry throughout the run, kept the proximity really close, hit the outer zone really good, a little shallow. Coming into the last clipping point, really good, followed them straight through it, and Helix did get the win. So at the end of the bracket, we have Helix first, Burritos second, and Ideal Grizzy third. Congrats to them. And as you see, these are the final point standings after the first event. Next episode, we'll be going over or recovering Virtual Formula Drift, which will be going down October 15th through the 17th. Track will be on Daytona Infield. The links to the signups and rule books are in the description. Actually, that one link should take you to everything and show you everything and all of that. So be sure to check that out. You guys have, I believe, to the 14th to sign up and get your cars tech inspected for the event. So be sure to check that out, and also have a promo video from the event to showcase you guys. So leave a rate, comment, and subscribe, and you guys take care.